Dr. Sujitha is gonna tell us about the as introduction to ethical AI tools. And this introduction will not be a simple introduction. You will get a trainer's knowledge through Dr. Sujitha Kurup. Dr. Sujitha Kurup, I am proud to say that she's an AI educator, corporate trainer, and certified Microsoft certified trainer based in India with a professional presence all over the world. She is the founder of Innovas and is credentialized as AI for data science. So I would request Dr. Sujitha Kurup to take over the seat and introduce yourself and start the workshop.
Yes. So it's thank you so much for the wonderful, introduction. But even before I start, I really cannot say how awe-inspiring was Elwanda's speech, especially the fact when she was talking about how AI should all be about competence and character. And I really cannot stress on the fact that when she says that we're actually raising a digital colleague when we're talking about AI. And just like how we have a human teammate with us, we have to build two things in parallel, right? And that was character and competence. Now, competence is something that most companies actually focus on. Can the agent do a particular task? Can it process the invoice? Can it draft the mail? Can it write the code? Can it analyze data? Well, I believe that's the easy part. That's training the AI. Those are tools, there's iteration, and many teams actually get there. But like Elwanda was saying, character is the harder part. And it's what I've seen that many companies actually skip. Now, character is who the agent is when no one is watching. Just like she was saying that, will your parents be proud of it? I mean, same thing. Does it tell the truth when it doesn't know something? Does it escalate when it's actually uncertain instead of simply guessing? Does it refuse when something actually feels wrong? Or when it's technically it could do it, Or does it actually protect the customer's data when nobody, asked it to actually do it? So character isn't built through a single prompt. It's built the same way you build it in a person, through values and through consistent feedback, and of course through testing under pressure and through accountability. But yes, you red team the agent the way any good manager runs hard conversations with a junior employee. And that point what Elvanda was actually speaking about actually stuck with me, which is why I really had to speak about it. So hi everyone. So even before we get into agentic AI and ethical AI leadership imperatives, I really want to ask a very simple question. Now, just how many of you, maybe in the last week or just the week that just passed, have actually used AI to do something for you? Not just like answer a question or but actually do something. Please raise your hands or give me a reaction. That would be really nice. How many of us use AI on a regular basis? Yes. Now see, that's a lot of thumbs up. Now here's what's interesting. 3 years ago, okay, that question wouldn't even have made sense. Now you would have asked AI a question, you would have got an answer, and that's it. That's like the end of transaction. But now you're actually asking it to draft a mail and send it also. You're building a slide deck along with it. Now it's reading your calendar and even rescheduling meetings for you just based on a voice command. It can look at your technical code and even fix it for you. Can browse the net on your behalf and come back with a maybe executive summary, do entire market research for you. Okay, so that is the fundamental shift that we're talking about. And many people haven't fully caught up with what that means. And that is exactly what today is all about. right? So, quickly about me, because I want you to know whose voice you're listening to or who you're looking at for the next 20-25 minutes that we have. Now, I've spent around a decade in corporate training, I could say. My PhD is in computer vision. So, I came into AI actually through the technical door. But what I ended up doing is actually sitting in boardrooms and in classrooms and in hospitals and in banks, trying to actually translate between the people who actually build the AI and the people who actually have to live and use it. All right, because there was a gap over there, and which is what I do. I try to reduce the gap, try to make AI as approachable as your next door neighbor. So I'm a Microsoft certified trainer working across India, UAE, and many other places, a lot of industries. But yes, among all the rooms that I've been in and all the classrooms that I've been there, it's just this. The technology isn't actually the hard part, the humans are. Okay? And that's exactly why this conversation today actually matters. So let me just share my screen with you. So I have a small presentation which I hope you guys can see. There we go. All right. Just give me a second. Yes. So as I was saying, so what are we going to do today? We were actually going to actually see what actually makes AI truly agentic and why everyone's saying that it is 2026 is the turning point of AI and so much is actually happening. So let's see what actually is agentic AI and why everyone keeps saying this. Now, look at the screen that I have for you guys today. Okay, I want you to walk through all the three eras, even though you're very close. I'm going to call them as eras. Okay, now in 2022, ChatGPT comes out. Okay, and the world goes a little crazy, if I have to say. We're calling it generative AI, and what does it do? It responds, you ask, it answers. Okay, you give it a prompt, it gives you text, and later it started giving you images and then music, whatnot. All right. And then race to 2024. Here is when the reasoning models emerge out. Okay. Now, here we have models from ChatGPT, we have Claude coming out with a lot of models, we have Gemini coming out with a lot of models, all that is able to think. Okay. It's going to reflect on whatever you want to say. So it's reasoning with you. Fast forward to 2026, or I would say late 2025, when we actually have something. Now, here our AI just doesn't respond. Our AI is doing way beyond that. It's actually not just telling you what the steps are, it's actually doing those steps for us. And which is why we actually say 2026, huge changes. A lot of companies are using AI a lot. If you ask me, for the last 2 months, I think Claude has turned the world upside down, with a lot of companies using the Claude models to do many of the tasks out there. So, and the numbers, when I say, they're projecting, I mean, these are not projections anymore. They are actual real numbers which are actually happening right now. Lot has been happening, especially like I said, with Claude moving here, doing this, tumbling that, shaking that up a bit, shaking here up a bit. We have a lot of IT companies out there using Claude Code. I had a number of, client requests asking, we want to learn what's happening with Claude Code. So what can we do? So a lot of things happening, and you need to actually be on the train, the agentic train, to understand why it's actually such a it's such a huge thing. So because it's no longer just telling you what work can be done and what are the steps that you need to do, it's actually doing it for you. All right. So till now, when I say yesterday, I mean, 18 months back, when, you ask, it answers, you write code, it recorrects the code for you. You do market research with deep research in it. But yes, there's human always in the loop, making sure, you check the work, You make sure, very diligently, you're going to make sure that everything is proper, and you're not putting just, first drafts that come from the AI out there. So yes, that's what we used to do. But today, when I'm talking of today, I'm talking about 2026, where AI isn't just a junior employee. It is like your teammate that is out there. You guys, you and your team partner, that is your AI, sits together, plans the path. You guys work out together where you decide that, this is my part. All right. So I'm going to do the thinking part, how to run the process. While the person, I mean, the guy who's going to do all the hard work is going to be AI. But yes, I am the one who's going to decide the path. We're going to sit together and decide whether it is a right decision, it is a wrong decision. Now, that is what AI means today, as compared to what it was like a year back or 2 years back. That's why it makes a huge difference. But when I go there, there is a lot of question about, what is this agentic AI? How is it so different from the AI that we already know? Now, most of us that use AI use the normal LLMs, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Perplexity. But those are just LLMs put together. They give you information. Now, here with agentic AI, it's not just the brain. Okay, now the reasoning part is where your llms come in, but along with the brain we have a lot other things that go in when you're doing the implementation part, and that is understanding the context of the situation at hand, making sure that all previous occurrences or all previous meetings or whatever sessions that had happened till date regarding the same topic is already there as context. And while building a solution, do I have all the required tools for it? Do I have access to your Notion? Do I have access to your Excel sheets? Do I have access to maybe, your messages and your WhatsApp? I mean, make sure that I have access to all of this so that I can build it for you. That's what AI is all about. So when we say agentic AI, what we mean is way beyond the brain. Okay, we actually see that AI can actually understand context. It can keep in memory what happened regarding that particular topic. You give it the superpowers of tools, and of course you decide what the guardrails are. All right, and you make sure, like Elwanda was saying, all right, you build competence along with those guardrails. You don't just set the boundaries, you make sure it follows the boundaries. What are the steps to follow, or what are the steps it needs to go through if it actually jumps the boundaries? Just like, I have a security who actually, remember those when you join a company for the first time, the security actually calls you, checks your ID card, checks everything firsthand. The first few days, a lot of screening happens initially just to make sure you're not some troublemaker. Same way, you need to actually build that boundaries, fix it for them, teach them these are the boundaries that you sit with. And that is what agentic AI is all about. That's all that you know. So there's brain, there's context understanding, there's memory, you give it superpowers, the tools, and of course you set the boundary where it works. That's all that agentic AI is about. It's not something so difficult to understand. It's really, really that easy. All right. So when I say there is, and an AI, and when I say there's a brain, of course, when you're talking about the brain, we're talking about the model. But of course, to the model, whatever model that we build, we actually have to give a goal and understanding to what it is. So yes, when we say, you have to give instructions, what are the tools? It's all about how you actually build the agent. Now, beyond that, recent years, recent months, I've been in awe of this wonderful tool, which is Claude. Now, it has been there, I think, from 2022, 23. It's been my favorite since then because it's really, very close to human. It gives you very empathetic and, human responses that you can actually relate to. So it has always been my favorite. But up late, it's been booming everywhere you go. They're talking about Claude, and it's really wonderful to see what changes that Claude are actually is, what Claude is actually bringing to society at first. Because Claude or Anthropic, which is the company, actually believes in safety. And, that is something, as someone who actually believes in ethical AI, I mean, which is why I relate with Claude, because it is, trained to be very helpful, but, very honest, as well as ethical, very transparent in the way it does stuff, and a huge tryout. And I would say, till last year, Gemini's models were really, really reasonable. But beat that, stop there. Claude has come up with Opus 4.6 and 4.7, which have really genuine reasoning skills. Now, you give it a problem. Now, you don't just type your problem out there, And whenever you work with AI, the best part is you write down and break down the problem into subparts. So that actually helps you think. You're not, dumping thinking on AI. And that is not how you use AI either. AI you use such that you build your critical thinking. Now, many people do exactly the opposite. They leave the thinking to the AI, and that's when you become replaceable. Now, I always tell everyone, who I teach, especially in my training sessions, that every time you use an AI tool, it should be, by the end of whatever session that you had with your conversations that you had with AI, there should have been something that you learned out of it, something that made you sharper and stronger as an individual. Because at the end of the day, especially in this AI world, your analytical and critical thinking skills are only, that what matters at the end. It should not be, your dumping skills. It's something that I really advocate for, and something that we should also be doing. So Claude, if you ask me, is something that has been building agents, I believe, for almost every industry out there. Now, whether it be Notion, whether it be Slack, whether it be Figma, any industry you pick out, okay, it has been dropping out AI agents. And all these agents, like I said, it's taking input, it is processing the input, it is understanding what it should do, what are the things that it should not do, and then giving out output satisfactory to what the problem, was intended to solve. So even with, a lot of guardrails out there, even with, a lot of problems out there where we have a lot of people saying, AI is destroying the world, I would actually say, I have seen, these are companies that actually do a lot of work using AI agents through Claude. And, that actually makes a difference. So this is something that we should actually focus on and understand how much AI is actually changing the world while staying ethical, making sure competence and character is is built parallelly, if I would say, in Elmonda's words. So, like I'm saying, with any agency, whether it be business leaders or IT developers, including AI, with any great agency comes even greater responsibility. Now, we need to make sure that AI, especially AI agents, are working on the four pillars, which is description, diligence, discernment. Okay, where they actually, you can discern what the answers are. They proper? Are they, are they integrating the people into it? Are they something that actually people can use to I would say, to improve themselves? Because AI is not a whole world altogether. It is for the people, and it should be something that should be accountable for any decision or any mistake or any reasoning that it comes up with. So making sure that it follows everything is something that I really, really believe should happen. Now, of course, like I was saying, along with the four pillars, there are six things that any AI should go along with to be ethical. And this is, of course, taken from this is something that I would say Claude or any other AI should actually believe in. When we're talking about fairness, is it fairness, is it fair in taking decisions? Let's say I'm running an AI agent for loan descriptions, and let's say it does not provide loan for people who are maybe I would say for the South Asian, you know, uh, uh, demographics. So that I need to make sure that biasness is never there, and it can always explain its reasoning up to date, and of course. Very, very important is the data security out there. You really need to make sure what is the data that you give AI, how much of it is actually being used, how much of it is actually being absorbed and being given somewhere else. And like Elwanda was saying, there are situations where we set up the guardrails, we do this, we do that, but the agent actually takes it and takes the data and whoosh, it's gone. So how do we make sure everything's actually in place? How do we set up the rules that to show that privacy is always observed? And of course, something that I always you have to be accountable of who's using the AI, what are the decisions it's taking, who's red teaming it. That is something that we need to do. Now, of course, agents, like I said, is on the boom now, with almost agents in almost every industry that you see. Recently, as a Microsoft certified trainer, now what we do is usually we learn courses on Microsoft Learn. Recently, Microsoft actually took out its own AI avatar to actually teach you through visuals, so that becomes much more easier. So, which actually reminds you that AI agents is not the technical aspect anymore. It's actually hitting every single industry. And you're in awe of what all are the use cases that it's able to solve so easily. I mean, there are places it could not reach, and now things are becoming easily accessible. And that is something, you know, positive that I see about AI agents, and really, really excited to see by the year of 2026. I don't know what more can happen. It's always really, even this happened. But of course, like I said, every implementation, you always need that ethical trust to it. When you, even especially when you do decision making, how do you do decision making properly? Now that, along with all the compliance and all the governance that goes along with it, of course, we also have to make sure that we as individuals, when you're putting out decisions, and let's say you need a teammate with you who can actually help you with the most plausible and ethical decision out there, and you don't know whether you're right or wrong. That's where we have tools like Ethoverse, that actually helps you take the ethical decisions, especially when you're using AI. Now, let me just show you a very simple use case on how to actually use it. All right. So, just I hope you guys can see my screen. So here you are. All right. So I have hold on. Yeah. So let's say, look, can you see the screen? This is where Ethoverse is all about. And the lovely part of Ethoverse is that it is like a companion, especially when you're trying, like I said, when you're trying to find out or trying to, differentiate decisions, and, find out if this decision is the right thing to do. Maybe trying to assess what is the legal risks that could be, that could actually happen. So I would say try this tool, because it is actually like an analyzer for assessing the, I would say, the legal, the ethical, and maybe the social technological risks that may be there when you're using AI. Okay. It actually helps you understand, like, whenever you're taking a decision, is your decision actually biased? Is there transparency in whatever decision that you're doing? So it's something that you should try out. Let me just show you a very quick example of how it works. So let me give you a small use case that I actually have been using for quite some time. So see, I hope you can see my screen. So let's say I'm in HR, working in the HR, and my company's just started this new AI tool to assist managers. Okay, and this AI tool is all about conducting annual performance reviews. Uh, And this AI actually, okay, looks at the patterns, tries to check what are the rates, completion rates, and what's the feedback. And this is a pilot that the company is actually trying to, run and see. But it doesn't actually check out for the work from home employees or someone who's working with flexible hours. So that would actually show lower engagements. So you want to see if the algorithm does it, take in bias, especially when it's building performance reviews that has to go annually. Okay. So what it does is, okay, can you look at this? So this is my problem that I have. So I could just state down my situation over here. Okay. And best part, it asks you who the stakeholders are. Now, it's not just, who is it that you're talking about? It's actually talking about people. Who is there? Is it the employees out there? Is it the clients out there? Even society is mentioned. All the stakeholders have to be mentioned, which is why I thought, okay, so there's going to be my employees, okay, whose reviews I'm doing. There's going to be the managers, of course, the HR department and the company. All right. And then became the desired outcome. What is the outcome that I am looking out for? What are the constraints out there? And of course, what category is the situation in? So here I had my outcome was to, make sure that the review, whatever happens, is based on the data, okay, and it should be fair. It should not, you know, harm the person who's working from home, or they are working from flexible hours, because we have working mothers and who's actually working on shifts. So yes, it has to be fair is something that my outcome looks like. So yes, these are the constraints that we had. So what I very simply did was actually just put the situation out there. So I told them, listen, so can you see I had a problem. It actually asked me to break it down these so many parts, which makes it even much easy for me to even analyze a problem on my own. So here I go take out the stock stakeholders and show them how the whole thing works. All right. And I really am excited to see what is going to be the outcome out there. What is it that, what is it going to tell me? Is it going to tell me that, we're going to take the decision, whatever happens? Let's see. So once I have my parts all filled in, I'm just going to ask it to execute. Now it's going to check for the various dimensions out there. I mean, what are the ethical considerations that we should consider even before making the decision? What is a plan that should have? Should it be plan A? Should I have a plan B in case the A doesn't work? So it'll take a quick, small little amount of time, and then we'll actually see it coming out. So can you see this? Quickly, I would say it actually broken down the situation for me with telling me, these are the risks out there. All right. See, unfair bonuses out there. And then it tries to create its own micro framework. Okay. So what is it that we have to check out? Okay. What are the core rules that AI should follow? What are the red flags out there? Okay, so this is how you actually implement the ethical part of using AI even before putting it out there. Now, the worst part, what every company does is first deploy the agent and then see what goes wrong. But it should be actually the other way around. So it actually tells you there are three ways by which you can go forward, and it actually scores each part. Now, it tells you, you got a score of 86, 68, and 28. And, it tells you what are the pros and cons of each path out there, and then gives you a small consequence matrix. And finally, what is the recommendation that you would have? So you could actually choose one, whichever score, whichever you have, and then you can actually, the best part is, let's say you picked up a decision, you could actually say, I'm going to go with this decision because of so and so. So it gives you a small understanding. Now, I really, really love this part of Ethos First, because it actually helps analyzing whatever decisions I have. So I am not alone anymore when I believe, no, this is the most plausible thing to do. All right. So it gives me a lot of wonderful thoughts and thinking capabilities right over there. So I want everyone to please go try it out. That would be really, really wonderful. So yes, that's what all I had to say about. I could go on and on about how much agentic AI is, and what it's doing and what more it can do. But yes, I believe I should stop. Otherwise, I will keep blabbering.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Sujita. It was incredible. Yeah, the way you started. So our all the audience were so excited to listen to you, and today they really got. And I there are so many good news for all the audience here. Actually, first of all, I would start that if anyone has any question to Dr. Sujita, you can ask directly, and she is ready to answer. Please open your mic and ask the question.
I just had a small question that ethos verse that you're saying you can use for an ethical decision. Excellent. Is this also a free account like the other AIs available?
I would answer this actually.
Okay. Okay, Dr. Shiva, tell me.
Okay, actually, yes, it has different types of accounts. So, bronze account you can use as a free.
Okay.
There are certain capabilities till that level you can use. Yes, this was like, I hope I answered your question. Yeah, thank you so much, Subela. Else who is looking forward to ask something from our expert here? Yeah.
And thank
So I
you, Dr. Sujita. It was excellent. Yes.
yes,
Oh,
it
thank you so much,
It
Bella.
was excellent. Yeah.
now the best part of the show comes in where all our attendees are waiting for the today's winner, and I am glad to say that on behalf of Ethosverse and Mr. Shami's sponsorship, we are gonna give one coupon to one of our previous attendees where we had a commitment with him, with Dr. Shammi, that there will be a class, and due to Dr. Shammi's engagement we couldn't do so. This coupon is the sponsorship of Dr. Shammi, and Dr. Shammi is here already. So I would request Sudeep Phal to open your camera or mic. This award goes to you. So I would say there is a coupon for Ethosverse Silver membership, which is a winner code with the winner code hidden there. And this particular coupon is we extend to Sudeep Phal on behalf of Ethosverse and Dr. Shammi's sponsorship. So, Dr. Shammi, would you like to say something? And that's please say.
I think with Dr. Sujita bringing out such wonderful insight, the last demo actually clearly showed the capability. I am sure Sudeep is going to enjoy the silver version, where he can do good amount of analysis and get the best benefit out of it. Congratulations, Sudeep. It's great to see you as a winner.
Thank you so much, Shami. And I think this is something which I will use as often. Like there are many dilemmas when you are using Claude or Anthropic. So I think this is helpful for me in my day-to-day life. Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
That's great, Sudeep and Shami, and I would congratulate Sudeep once again. And I would say that this is a silver card, and there will be a code, and you can directly use this code to open your silver membership with its Thoughtverse. And I would request everyone here to make your login and use Ethosverse, because it has some great capabilities which Dr. Sujita has just shown you the one capability, and that is the core of humanity. Like if someone will guide us, or our inner conscious guide us in a right way, so that is the way where Ethosverse is guiding you to take a right decisions. And every decision cost you certain things, lot of money, not only money, your breakage, your so many other problems. So Be always cautious to make decision, and if possible use ethos words for such kind of decision, and you will and give us the reviews, because ethos words will be loved to see your reviews. So thank you so much everyone. Today it was great session once again. Dr. Sujita, Dr. Alvanda, Shammi, Sudeepal, Subela, all of yours contribution, Dr. Hussain Barakat, Van Iceman, everyone is here today, and you all will receive one certificate for introductory AI classes. And that's how we are gonna introduce so many different new tools to you guys to enable you, all of you, for this new era of AI. Thanks once again to everyone.